Quagliariello is his last name, but we like to call him John Q. He's with the National Weather Service and puts together the forecasts and advises the state when it comes to severe weather.
Exactly. Efren Afante is our meteorologist, but John's the state's meteorologist. Now, we asked our viewers to come in with some questions. They have some interesting questions. We'll get to those in just a couple of minutes, but let's talk more about the track of the storm that moved through Bamberg on Tuesday. It's been 2 days now. Let's talk about the distance, the width, and how it could have caused so much damage.
Right, and there was a lot of damage out there, and of course it's really upsetting to see. All of us at the Weather Service are really upset to see that kind of damage from the storm. We're very fortunate there were no injuries or fatalities from that. It hit a populated part of the community, but the track itself, it pretty much went for a little bit over 2 miles. It was about 2.15 miles. The width was about 500 yards of total damage at the widest portion. We estimated the wind speeds to be 125 miles an hour. So that's an EF2 on the enhanced Fujita scale. So it's a strong tornado that moved through the very populated portion of Bamberg, unfortunately.
You know, it's funny. I feel like in South Carolina, we've seen tornadoes, but not through a main city street like that. Is it more common to have a tornado in a field? That's where it seems like it's more common than it is to literally have a tornado drive right down your main street.
Yeah, you know, a lot of South Carolina is rural, so we have a lot of trees, and a lot of our tornadoes are in unpopulated areas, and sometimes we have to go search for them, you know, and drive around and see for damage or use drones. This case, unfortunately, was right in the downtown. You know, if it was just a mile, maybe in a different direction, maybe it would have affected a lot less people. It's just an unfortunate location for it to have hit.
Yeah. Can I ask one more question about this? Because we saw that video, and I wish we could, if we have it, let's put it up, of the surveillance video. But John, we see 3 cars drive by. And these 3 cars, there's debris flying everywhere, and the roof is coming off, and shingles are coming off. When is it too windy to drive? Like, when is it that we should absolutely not, if our meteorologists say it's this speed, we should not go out?
Well, those winds really picked up because of the tornadoes. So, you know, if it's higher winds, gusty winds, use caution on overpasses and bridges. But in a tornado situation like that, when we have a watch up, you need to try to make plans maybe to stay home when we know it's going to be closer to the time that the storms rise. Stay home, stay at work. But certainly if a warning's issued, that's when you want to get to a safe location. You don't want to be in a vehicle. You want to be in an interior room. That's the really important thing.
Let's talk about the difference between a watch and a warning before we let you go.
That's a great question. Everyone always gets confused. A watch really means conditions are favorable for hazardous weather to develop. So you need to be prepared to take action. Keep monitoring local news and other reliable sources. Once you get a warning, that means that weather's happening now or will be shortly, and you need to get yourself to a safe location and really get you and your family safe when you hear a warning.
All right, I got to ask, because one of our viewers wrote in a question and said, are we going to get snow in January? This is really like a crystal ball thing. What do you think, though?
You know, it's El Nino that typically brings more storm systems, and we're already seeing that. You know, Tuesday, we have another storm system Friday, so we keep more active like this. There's certainly potential. The key is we need the cold air when we have this precipitation, and that's always the unknown. But the more precipitation we tend to get in El Nino, generally the better our chances are of maybe seeing some snow. So I don't want to say we're going to have it, but I don't want to rule it out either.
Okay.
John, thank you so much for what you do for the state every single day. I don't think a lot of people think of you as a first responder, but you're right there next to the governor and everyone else making decisions in his cabinet. So thank you for your hard work.
It's a whole team at the Weather Service. We've got some great people in the background there doing all the work.
We are glad you are on our team.